All right, bladesmiths, congratulations. You've made it into the third round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Boa-Zande Sword. The Boa-Zande Sword hails from Central Africa and the tribes of the Congo. The short sword was used not only to wage war, but also as a ritual object and status symbol. The more ornate the sword, the higher one's stature and authority within the tribe. Typically, African blades have wildly varying specifications and shapes, and this sword is no different. It has a thin ricasso that flares wide to a leaf shape. From there, it tapers to a devastatingly sharp point that's built to make extreme cuts and deep thrusts into the flesh, making the weapon a feared and vicious killer. Good luck, bladesmiths. We'll see you in 4 days.
Good luck. Good luck, man. My name is Ben Jenin. I'm a project manager for exterior signs. I started watching Forged in Fire, and it lit a fire back under me. I was like, hey, you know, this is awesome. I need to get in that part of it. Steel I plan on using is 80 CRV2. I think this will be a good steel because the use it can take, plus it'll hold a fine edge. I want to make sure that I get all the heat straight through this blade. Now I'm ready for quench. I am happy with that. Doing pinstriping, I've done that on a million cars and motorcycles. That's second nature to me. So that's going to give my spin on this and hopefully put me up and above. Now I'm ready to fit everything up. I put the guard on the blade, make sure everything's where I like it. Son of a bitch. I'm getting ready to start doing my grinds, and I noticed something that looks like a crack. Yeah, we're gonna have to grind on that a little bit. I grind it down. Luckily, it's just on the surface. You know, the good Lord's looking out for me again. Crisis diverted. I need to go change my drawers now.
My name's Justin Chenault. I've been making blades for 14 years now. I just got my Journeyman Smith stamp. It's a rating in the American Bladesmith Society. It means you have reached a certain level of quality in your work. Given the ceremonial aesthetic aspect of the Boa-Zande, I'm gonna lean more towards doing something flashy, so I'm gonna go with Damascus. I cut in a ladder pattern with a grinder and got it ready to start shaping the blade. After I get the tip kind of where I want it, I can start working down the blade, pulling that width out. Everything looks awesome. It's nice and straight. We're gonna let it cool off here, and I'm gonna work on my handle and fittings. I decided to go ahead and do a ladder pattern on the guard plate and pommel plate because I figure it'll be kind of complementary to the sword blade. I'm making the handle out of rosewood, which is native to Africa, so it would be relatively historically accurate. Let's go see if it'll cut anything. You know, I'm pretty confident that this thing will handle anything that they can throw at it. That'll do.
All right, bladesmiths, this is the kill test. Your Boa-Zande short swords look deadly, but can they kill? To find that out, I will take your weapons and do some killing slashes and blows on this pig carcass. Ben, you're up first. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
All right, Ben, let's talk about your weapon here. First up, the design you have here with a very aggressive point lends itself to thrust all the way through the pig carcass 3 times. Now your edge. Razor sharp. But what I find interesting with your weapon here is there's a forward weight, so it lends itself to be a good chopper rather than just a thruster. Overall, sir, your weapon, it'll kill.
Thank you.
All right, Justin, your turn. Are you ready?
Let's get it done.
First up, I really appreciate the Damascus pattern that you have on there. It's very stunning to look at.
Thank you.
Now, the design you have thrusts easily through the carcass, at the same time creates a big wound channel with every thrust and extraction as I'm doing that. Now, it is a much lighter sword than your competitors. Overall, sir, it will kill.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, to test the strength and overall construction of your blade, I'll be chopping and stabbing into our shields over here. Now, Ben, you're up first. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. All right, Ben, it's got some weight to it. It's a bit hefty. You know, that hourglass design is a very traditional shape for this handle. But that guard with these corners, not so great for thrusting. It's kind of chewed a hole in my finger. As far as the edge of your blade goes, you don't lose any edge at all. Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Do your worst.
If I was going to do my worst, I'd just slam it on the concrete. I wouldn't do that to you. All right, Justin. Tips 100%. That's great. Handle is very comfortable. As far as the construction goes, I think it's beautiful. I think your design and shape is excellent. Good job.
Awesome.
Doug?
All right, bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test, the African tapestry slice. Now, to find out how sharp your edges are, I'm gonna take your weapon and slash across these tapestries. Now, unlike the strength test, this is all about what the edge of your blade does to these tapestries. Ben, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ben, like hot knife through butter. On the vertical cuts, very easy. It's like cutting air with this. On the edges where it didn't meet the tapestry, it cuts through. The edge is sharp. It will cut.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Justin, it's your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
All right.
All right, Justin, let's talk about your blade. The fact it's a little bit lighter makes it easier to control when you're cutting. I'm not worried about the forward weight that pulls me into that. Vertical cuts, easy, all the way through. Diagonal cuts, it was easy to cut. And of course, as you can see in the horizontal cut, a nice clean line where it cuts all the way through. Your edge, sir, it will cut.
Thank you.
Ben, Justin, the judges' deliberation is complete. They've made their final decision. Both of those Boa-Zande swords exemplify the standard by which all other Forged in Fire champions should be measured. You've both done excellent work.
Thank you.
However, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. That champion is Justin. Congratulations, you are the Forged in Fire champion. Ben, unfortunately, your blade by the most narrow of margins did not make the cut, and Ben Abbott's going to tell you why.
Ben, this was an extremely tight race. Both of you brought in really beautiful weapons that performed very well. But at the end of the day, your guard bit Dave's finger. And there was a difference in weight that made your sword harder to swing. And that's why we're sending you home.
Ben, please surrender your blade.
You know, getting this far in the competition, I just wanted to prove to myself and others, you know, without a doubt, I have what it takes.
That is a damn fine weapon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I came to win it. I fell a little short, but hey, I'm not going to let that stop me.
Well, Justin, looks like you brought your A++ game because you are the Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job, my friend.
Thank you.
Please present your weapon to the judges.
I went into this not knowing who was going to win, but I pulled ahead. Woo! It was hard, grueling, but it was a lot of fun at the end of the day. A little bittersweet, honestly. He's a great guy. We've become great friends, but, you know, it's a competition, man. Somebody's got to win.